Let's talk about the overall sentiment about quarterbacks not playing that much in preseason. Willie, do you have reservations about high-profile quarterbacks not getting that much action in the preseason?
When you say high-profile, there's a couple of things for me that go along with it. Is he a veteran? How long has he been in the system? And who he is.
Yeah.
Like the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Brees, all those guys, no, not at all.
Brady did play.
He did play because he wants to play, and that's just him as a competitor. But I just don't put as much. I don't put as much if he's not out there because I know he's been in a consistent system with the same coordinator for a very long time. It's just the new players coming in that have to get on the same page.
And even if you have, if it's a new player or a new head coach, it's the offensive line. If you're not going to play your offensive line, you're starting offensive linemen, you're starting running backs, wide receivers, and the quarterback, don't put him out there. I mean, just say, hey, he's getting reps in a new system. Don't jeopardize his health or whatever just because you don't have the other fortifications there. If you're going ones and you're rolling with the ones, then do that. But I think the people on this list who haven't gotten a lot of reps, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. And a lot of coaches and teams now are going to these joint practices. So if there are guys looking good in these joint practices and you're getting live reps and nobody's hitting the ground, there's no need to put him out there for preseason. He's been looking sharp, so let's just keep him healthy, get him ready for the season. So, no, I'm not surprised, and none of these guys, Willie said, needs to step out there.
In fact, those four guys we showed you right there, all of them had at least one joint practice with another team. Right. But, Steve, is there a guy you feel like you wanted to see more from a quarterback this preseason?
It's hard to say. Look, maybe Joe Flacco with Denver because he is going with a first-time play caller on offense. He's changing teams. He's got a new system. But, again, if he's not out there with the first teamers the whole time getting the reps, Emmanuel Sanders didn't come back into the third preseason game, then maybe he shouldn't play as much. Again, Flacco's one of those guys. I think Denver's a team offensively going through some changes, but defensively the team could be very competitive.
And you said new coordinator or a new team, and Nick Foles is one of those guys for me because since 2015 he's had 11 starts. That's he's never been a full-time starter in this league. So the sample size for Nick Foles, we've seen him come in and win a Super Bowl. We've seen him come in because of injury and take over and do great. But the sample size has been small. So we haven't seen him as a full-time starter. I know he's with his coordinator that he had, or his quarterback coach that he had in Philadelphia. The other thing is when you look at this team, they're last in pass touchdowns, last passing yards at the bottom of the league, not last. And they also 20 yards or more, they're at the bottom of the league. So I want to see if he can push the ball down the field, something that this team hasn't been able to do with the Jaguars since Blake Bortles has been there.
Foles can throw the deep ball now.
Well, no.
Right. That's the receivers. We got to see it.
So, the other one that's interesting to me is your former quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, James. And to be fair, I think, he might have played in week 2, but he had that little bit of back stiffness, right? So they scratched him. And then week 3, he might have played but didn't. Do you feel like he needed it with Matt LaFleur coming in this year?
Well, no, I don't feel like he needed it. I mean, I talked to those guys a lot. They've been sending me a couple little clips. I mean, the timing between him and Devontae is unbelievable. He loves the offense, a lot of movement and stuff in the offense. He say he's ready to go. Doesn't really got to think a lot. Don't really got to audible a lot because they're doing a lot of moving parts. So, guys are just coming open. So I'm not worried about Aaron. He'll be fine. Like I said, the joint practices helped him. He looked sharp in the joint practice. So I don't think he needed to step out there.
Tell me more about these clips that you were sent.
Oh, man, that's in the house. Okay. But, I'm real close with those dudes. So, they'll send me some tapes, especially Devontae will send me some tapes, just how they looking and stuff like that. And the timing is
and
sharp.
You're satisfied?
Very satisfied.